The Rainbow Warrior was more than just a ship. It was a floating symbol of hope, a beacon for peace, and a rallying point for those who believed in a better, cleaner world. Its hull, painted with a dove and a rainbow, carried a message that resonated far beyond the oceans. It sailed. In 1985, the Rainbow Warrior led Operation Peace for the Pacific, a daring mission that would capture the world's attention and challenge the status quo. Our mission was clear: to confront France's nuclear testing at Mururoa Atoll, a remote site where powerful explosions threatened not only the Pacific's fragile environment, but also the health and future of its people. We knew the risks, but we also knew the stakes were too high to ignore. On board, we sailed with a diverse and passionate crew, scientists who brought expertise and evidence, journalists determined to document the truth, and activists whose courage inspired everyone around them. Together, we worked tirelessly, deploying banners, monitoring the ocean, and preparing to bear witness to the tests. Our determination was fueled by a shared belief that the world deserved to know what was happening in these distant waters, and that the ocean needed defenders willing to stand up for it. As we approached New Zealand, we found an ally in a nation that had already declared itself staunchly anti-nuclear. The people of New Zealand welcomed us with open arms, their support echoing our own hopes for a nuclear-free Pacific. Docking in Auckland, we were greeted by a vibrant, supportive community. Families, students, and activists all gathered at the waterfront, offering encouragement and solidarity as we prepared for the final, most critical leg of our journey. On July 10th, the crew came together in celebration, sharing laughter, food, and stories on the deck. We felt united by our purpose, proud of how far we'd come, and hopeful for what lay ahead, unaware that danger was drawing near. That night, as we planned our next steps and enjoyed the camaraderie, shadowy figures moved silently through the harbor. Foreign agents, intent on stopping our mission, crept closer under the cover of darkness. The Rainbow Warrior, once a sanctuary for those fighting for peace, was now under threat. The calm of the harbor masked the danger that was about to unfold. In the early hours, as the city slept, our journey was about to end. Not in the open sea, but in the stillness of a peaceful harbor, where no one expected violence. The Rainbow Warrior, our symbol of hope and resistance, was about to become a target, its legacy forever changed, but its spirit unbroken. Behind closed doors in Paris, a secret operation was taking shape, one that would send shockwaves around the world. France had launched Operation Satanique, a covert state-sponsored mission with a singular chilling objective: to destroy the Rainbow Warrior, Greenpeace's flagship of protest. This was not just an act of sabotage, but a calculated move to silence dissent and protect France's nuclear testing program in the Pacific. The DGSE, France's powerful foreign intelligence agency, was at the helm. They assembled 3 specialized teams, each with a distinct role. The command team orchestrated the mission from afar. The logistics team handled the intricate details of travel and equipment, and the bombers were the operatives who would carry out the most dangerous task of all. Major Alain Maffar and Captain Dominique Pereira, both seasoned agents, led the operation on the ground. Disguised as an ordinary Swiss couple, they blended in among tourists, using a humble camper van as their mobile command post. From this unassuming base, they coordinated every move, keeping a watchful eye on the Rainbow Warrior's crew and routines. Meanwhile, another team arrived by yacht, smuggling explosives into New Zealand under the cover of darkness. Their journey was fraught with risk, and their careless behavior, unusual spending, suspicious movements, left a trail of clues that would later become vital to investigators. The final team consisted of 2 elite combat divers, handpicked for their expertise. Their mission: to slip into the harbor at night, unseen, and attach powerful limpet mines to the hull of the Rainbow Warrior. The plan was meticulously timed. Under the cover of darkness, the divers would strike, crippling the ship and sending a clear message to Greenpeace and the world. Opposition to France's nuclear ambitions would not be tolerated. This operation was a tangled web of espionage and deception, orchestrated at the highest levels of the French government. Ministers, military officials, and intelligence chiefs all played their part, ensuring that every detail was planned with ruthless precision. Every move was calculated, every role rehearsed, every agent briefed on their cover story. The operation was a testament to the lengths a government would go to protect its interests. Yet, in their confidence, the agents made mistakes. Small traces, Fingerprints, receipts, and abandoned items would soon unravel their carefully constructed plot. The fate of the Rainbow Warrior was sealed by a government determined to protect its nuclear ambitions at any cost, no matter the consequences for peace or justice. Our peaceful protest, a stand against nuclear testing, was about to collide with the full force of state-sponsored violence. The world was on the brink of learning just how far a nation would go to silence those who dared to speak out. In the days that followed, the shocking truth would emerge, and the world would soon learn the devastating cost of this clandestine operation. Months before the bombing, French agent Christine Caban infiltrated our Auckland office, posing as a passionate volunteer. She mapped our routines, scouted the harbor, and relayed every detail to Paris. Her questions, in hindsight, were clear red flags, but we saw only a committed activist. Caban's intelligence was vital, confirming our ship's location and security gaps. Once her mission was complete, she vanished, her betrayal unnoticed until it was too late. We didn't suspect a thing. Volunteers often came and went. Only after the attack did we realize the depth of her deception. The friendly face among us had been the eyes and ears of the French government. Her role was crucial in the plot that would soon claim a life and sink our ship. On July 10, 1985, the Rainbow Warrior was alive with laughter and music. We gathered on deck, celebrating our shared mission and the camaraderie that had grown between us. The ship, a beacon of hope for environmental activism, felt invincible that night. But beneath the surface, danger crept closer. Two French military divers trained for covert operations launched their Zodiac and silently navigated the inky waters of Auckland Harbor, their faces set with grim determination. Unseen by anyone above, they slipped beneath the hull and methodically attached two limpet mines, one near the engine room, the other by the propeller shaft. Every movement was precise, rehearsed, and chillingly efficient. The placement was deliberate, targeting the ship's most vulnerable points to maximize damage and chaos. With the bombs set on timers, the divers melted back into the night, leaving no trace of their presence. The harbor was still, unaware of the disaster about to unfold. At exactly 11:38 p.m., the first explosion ripped through the engine room. The blast echoed across the water, sending shockwaves through the ship and flooding compartments within seconds. Alarms blared. We scrambled to abandon ship, confusion and panic gripping the crew as water rushed in and the lights flickered out. In the chaos, shouts and cries filled the air. Some crew members leapt into the water, others searched desperately for friends in the darkness. 7 minutes later, a second, even more powerful blast erupted from the hull. The force sealed the ship's fate, tearing open the vessel and ensuring it would never sail again. The Rainbow Warrior began to list heavily, taking on water at a terrifying rate. Within minutes she was sinking beneath the waves. By the time the chaos subsided, the ship had settled on the harbor floor. Her mission cut short in an instant. The two-bomb strategy was coldly calculated, designed to create confusion, then guarantee total destruction. It was a ruthless act, planned in secret and executed with military precision. Our symbol of peace and protest was now a twisted wreck. The attack was swift, silent, and devastating, leaving us in shock and disbelief. In the aftermath, the harbor was eerily quiet. Survivors gathered on the dock, staring at the empty water where our ship had stood, struggling to comprehend what had just happened. In a matter of minutes, our mission was shattered, and the world would soon learn of the violence that had struck in the dead of night. The true tragedy was the loss of Fernando Pereira, our photographer and friend. After the first blast, Fernando escaped with the crew, but his cameras were still below deck. Driven by instinct, he rushed back on board to save his equipment. The second explosion struck as he was inside, trapping him as the ship flooded. Fernando drowned, his life claimed by an act of state-sponsored violence. His death turned sabotage into murder, shocking us all. Fernando was more than a colleague. He was a father, a storyteller, and a believer in our cause. The French government's attempt to silence us had taken an innocent life. Fernando's sacrifice became a rallying cry for the anti-nuclear movement. We would never forget him. The morning after, New Zealand police launched their largest investigation ever. The bomber's carelessness left a trail in abandoned Zodiac, French-marked oxygen tanks, and a rare outboard motor. Witnesses recalled the suspicious yacht Uvea and a camper van, parked near the harbor. Detectives traced the van to Alain and Sophie Turange, the operations leaders. The rental agency was alerted, and the net began to close. Every clue, from French serial numbers to London-purchased equipment, pointed to an international plot. The investigation grew, with over 100 detectives piecing together the conspiracy. The French agents' arrogance had left them exposed. The web of evidence was tightening. New Zealand was determined to find justice for the attack on its soil. The truth was coming to light. 2 days after the bombing, Mafar and Prieur made a fatal mistake, returning their camper van for a refund. The rental staff stalled them while police rushed in, arresting the pair on the spot. Their forged passports and frantic calls to Paris exposed their true identities. They became the only agents held accountable in New Zealand for the attack. Other team members narrowly escaped, some vanishing at sea, others slipping out of the country. The divers who planted the bombs left undetected, their involvement confirmed only much later. But the capture of Moffat and Prieur was a breakthrough, proof of France's hand in the crime. The arrest of French agents ignited a diplomatic crisis. France denied involvement, but mounting evidence forced an admission and led to high-level resignations. Moffat and Prieur pleaded guilty to manslaughter and were sentenced to 10 years in New Zealand. France retaliated with economic threats, pressuring New Zealand to release the agents. A UN-brokered deal saw France pay millions in compensation to New Zealand and Greenpeace. In exchange, the agents were transferred to a French base in the Pacific, only to be quietly repatriated within 2 years. France's breach of the agreement led to further penalties, but the damage was done. The affair exposed the lengths a government would go to protect its interests. New Zealand's resolve became a symbol of standing up to global powers. The Rainbow Warriors' destruction became a turning point for New Zealand and Greenpeace. The attack galvanized New Zealand's anti-nuclear identity and inspired global support for our cause. Instead of silencing us, France's actions fueled a movement. Compensation funded a new ship, Rainbow Warrior 2, and our mission continued stronger than ever. The original ship was scuttled as an artificial reef, now a living memorial. A sculpture overlooking Matari Bay honors her legacy. France's sabotage failed. Their nuclear testing ended in 1996, pressured by the movement they tried to crush. The Rainbow Warrior became a global symbol of environmental defiance. The fight for peace and a healthy planet lives on. The spirit of the Rainbow Warrior endures.